with the matter.
His matter then is postponed to the 18th of September 2026. This is a final postponement in respect of his legal representation of the current attorneys representing him. The court did, on the last occasion, request him to, quote unquote, get his house in order with regard to legal representation. This obviously persists, and the court informs him that the court is giving him a further opportunity to do so. You are to remain in custody.
Inflation has cooled to a 5-month low on the back of lower food and fuel prices. Statistics South Africa's newly released data shows that food and non-alcoholic beverages fell to their lowest levels since 2010. This was on the back of lower rates on cereal products, maize meal, white bread and beef. Principal survey statistician at Stats SA Pierre Terblanche says the reduction in fuel prices also supported the lower inflation print.
The headline inflation rate cooled for the first time in 5 months, declining to 4.3% in July from 5% in June. The monthly increase in the consumer price index was 0.2%, down from 0.7% in June. The slowdown can be attributed to 3 main factors: softer inflation for food and non-alcoholic beverages, lower municipal tariff increases, and a decline in fuel prices. Food and non-alcoholic beverages declined to 0.9% in July. This is the lowest print for food and non-alcoholic beverages in more than 16 years.
Singer Angelique Kidjo from Benin has become the first Black African to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The 5-time Grammy winner was honored for a career spanning more than 4 decades. This happened at the ceremony in Los Angeles, where she celebrated Africa's contribution to global music. The BBC's Camilla Mills reports.
Angelique Kidjo marked the occasion in characteristic style, singing and dancing after unveiling her star. The 66-year-old told the audience that Africans often failed to recognise just how much they had given to the world. As she said, "Without us, there's no music possible on this planet." Kidjo has worked with artists including Bono, Alicia Keys and John Legend. The Recording Academy said her music had connected cultures and crossed borders. Kidjo has also spent decades campaigning for girls and young women in Africa.
Recapping the top story, Parliament's impeachment committee has resolved to obtain legal advice after it received a letter from President Cyril Ramaphosa in which he objects to the evidence leader the committee has recommended. I'm Wandela Mana for SAfm News Headlines at 1:30.
A nation changes, but the conversation continues. SAfm 90 years.
Hi, my name is Sipati Precious Sazo, and I am the Chief Operating Officer of the Women in Sports South Africa initiative. On behalf of our organization, I extend my warmest congratulations to SAfm on its remarkable 90th anniversary. For 9 decades, congratulations on this historic milestone.
From the voices that shaped our past to the conversations defining our future, SAfm celebrates 90 years. The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
Isentaka vala mehlo zikume uthandaze ucela uba wangaze alilibale igama lakho xa ewabiza wabanye nelam selikhona elam selibhaliwe elam selibhaliwe sendikhethiwe ndiyimpendulo yemithalezo yabazali ndisisibalo ndingutyunjiwe ndizinkwenkwezi ndingokhethiwe ndililanga inyama nezinkwenkwezi
Da 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 da.
Because I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Zimbini. Izicengezelo.
Izingcengcezelo.
Izingcengezelo, yes.
Do you know what izingcengcezelo
Well,
means?
we just discovered. We literally just discovered what izingcengezelo is, which is
to glisten, to shimmer,
to shimmer.
to
Like mawungena endaweni ukubonekala ukuthi ufikile.
Ube another thing.
Yes.
I used a better English word earlier.
Shimmering.
Did I say shimmering?
Yeah, unless if there's another synonym
I-
that's like
I couldn't think of another
higher
one.
grade and
Beyond that.
beyond. Can we still say the Queen's English, or is it the King's English now?
Well, I mean, you know.
Still the Queen's
It's
English.
still the Queen's English.
Still the Queen's English, yeah.
It's the voice of Aldrin Sampear, ladies and gentlemen. He is back. He is back for one night only.
That's all I have to give. Dum-bum. One night only. Let's not down.
We are not playing karaoke with him. A beautifully warm summer afternoon to you. It's so warm outside in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
When I was driving into the station today, I thought it's literally giving springtime. What a beautiful day it is.
Indeed, indeed. Even this, when I left home, I was asking my partner, "Ngithi, baby, ngifake jacket. Ngoba kusasa August, fake jacket." And he's like, no, it's fine. It's hot outside. It's hot
Yes.
outside. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in Joburg. So weird that a couple of days ago we were complaining about how cold it is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's all of this heat.
Right? We literally went from the coldest week in Johannesburg to the hottest week this winter, because essentially we still are in winter. Good afternoon to you and welcome to The Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga,
And Aldrin Sampear, right here on SAfm. This is The Full Circle.
For 90 years, South Africa has changed. Governments have changed. Generations have changed.
Which one?
Technology has changed. But through
Thank
it
you.
all, one thing has remained.
All right. It is The Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga, as we get into the show today. We have got a special way of welcoming Aldrin for this, our 90th years of conversation. It's a nation story and our shared future, and we thought we'd invite back some of those pivotal voices that helped shape SAfm into the incredible station that it is today, connecting South Africans in conversation from corner to corner. And he had one request and one request only. He's like, if I come back for this broadcast, I just want one thing to make me feel like I'm really back. So we had to dig into the archives and dig deep into the archives. But we found what you were looking for.
Make it happen.
We're going to make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Okay.
rito leri hangalakeke na misava hinkwayo ri hasambe uya vutlhari xana i mani a nga ku miyetaka ke i mani a nga miyetaka mpfumawulo wa rito ra kuke 326 tshama yi ri etindleve eka SAfm hikuva u yi phamela swakudya swa miehleketo yi dya yi tlhela yi xipa ndzi ri halala Aldrin Sampear halala wena la telekiweke eswitikweni swa vutlhari a katingiwa etimbiteni ta vutivi a sekiwa hi galaza ra vutshila loko ri mina ntombi ya mutongo n'wa swambula makhutlo wa madyafu la ri la tsundzuka n'wana hi ku heta ndzi ku hluvulela xihuku ndzi ri kula u ringana na ndlopfu halala Aldrin Sampear halala
Aldrin Sampear on Beyond the Headline.
It's 17 minutes after 1 o'clock. A very good. Back in the days.
I feel like you should have just carried on. 17 minutes after 1 o'clock. It is the full circle.
Not beyond the headlines.
Your geyser would have hot water, but some people overloaded the transformer with their illegal connections. You're late again, and the robots don't work. Some people vandalized it for copper. The whole community doesn't have electricity because some people have been bridging meters for a small fee, and now the transformer has exploded due to overloading. Don't allow illegal connections by criminals to inconvenience you and your community. Report criminals to ESCOM on 0800 11 2722 or the SAPS. Save your transformer. Save lives.
Every generation has a story. Every generation has questions. Every generation has a voice. For 90 years, SAfm has been part of the conversation. This August, we listen back to the voices that brought us here. We celebrate the people who shaped our journey, and we listen for the voices that will shape what comes next, including the launch of a new annual SAfm property. This Women's Month, we are in search of an SAfm woman. 4 extraordinary women, 4 extraordinary journeys. One question: what does it mean to be an SAfm woman? SAfm 90 years. Women, a new voice. 90 years of conversation. A nation story. Our shared future. From 1 August, SAfm. Bridget Masinga, weekdays on the Full Circle.
All right, let's get into matters of the show, and we're going to be chatting to Spahle Mota in just a moment, catching up on day 100 and is it day 162 at the Madlanga Commission, live from the Bridget Masinga Justice College. And then we're going to be talking matters of travel because we do have Aldrin with us this afternoon. So we thought, well, why not focus on all things traveling South Africa? And we're asking the question, what are your top 5 shortlist destinations in South Africa? 0614104107 is our WhatsApp line. Perhaps it's places that you've been to already and that you've got fond memories of, or maybe it's places that you still yet to go to that you've decided, you know what, these are your top 5, top 3, top 2 places. We'd love to hear from you. So we'll double back to that conversation a little bit later on in the show. But for now, though, let's get to catching up with Spahle Mota. Spahle, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good afternoon to you, Bridget, and thank you so much for having me.
Only but a pleasure. I mean, let's talk about it. It's been a highly anticipated appearance this afternoon of Fidel Adams at the Madlanga Commission. There's a lot that we can take out from the engagement thus far, from the exchange between himself and Commissioner Madlanga to just even his body language. But let's rewind back to the very beginning of the morning, because almost 2 hours were spent charting the timeline of that email notification concerning Rule 3.
No, definitely. If you remember, there were claims by Fidel Adams that he had not received this Notice 3 from the Madlanga Commission. But as you know, the Commission will always come with their receipts and their evidence to just dispute some of the cases or the claims that he has made. And what we are finding out is that he had put forward a claim before the Commission to say that that Notice 3, he only got it this year around April, but when emails were actually presented, it shows that it was as early as October 2025. And mind you, this is somebody also who had written to the commission following the testimony of General Dumsani Khumalo. So there was that on one hand, and then there was the issue of the laptop where he had claimed that, he could not present his documents in time to the Matlanga Commission on the 11th, before the 11th of August because of his malfunctioning laptop. And, Justice Mbuseli Matlanga obviously pulled out those receipts from Parliament, which disputed the claims made by Fadil Adams. So it was really a back and forth, and just the Commission trying to establish some of the claims that he has made. And ultimately, we can just rule on what has been said, is that Fadil Adams might have been untruthful before the Matlanga Commission. And as you said, we spent a very significant amount of time on that. And we even went to the tea break where he eventually began reading his statements that he has prepared for the Matlanga Commission into the record.
Yeah, it really was quite, I think, to some degree also an amusing exchange to observe, because when we start putting in the elements of body language and posture, it almost felt to me as though, when you are a child being cornered by your parent who has caught you in a lie, and you try to use all kinds of slick English and explanation, and really you're just spinning yourself into a web.
No, definitely. I think what really caught me off guard is him saying even to the commission that they shouldn't take some of the things he says on social media seriously because he's just that person full of banter, So I think the commissioners and the evidence leaders sort of have an idea of who they are dealing with, and somebody who's become very evasive in answering certain questions, and making certain statements and trying to wiggle himself out of trouble. But I always say, this was probably the easiest part, or is the easiest part for him, because now he's obviously putting his version of events towards the commission and saying things about the likes of Mkhwanazi, Drushanta Ramsemi. But the difficult part really is about, him answering those questions during cross-examination, and I don't anticipate that it's going to be any easy for him. So right now it's still early, and he's having maybe a good time, if I could put it like that. But the cross-examination is where they all start to crack.
Did you have any time this morning, Aldrin, to follow? I know the newsman in you is still in you, so I know you're keeping track of the Matlanga Commission.
Yeah, like when you were saying, I told them that Madanga is gonna... And then Justice Madlanga is like, no, it's not Madlanga, it's the Madlanga Commission. I'm sorry, the Madlanga Commission. Yes, I am following, but I'll reserve my opinions to myself.
So he started reading his statement to the commissioners, and so far, as we headed into the lunch break, has anything sort of jumped out for the commissioners and the evidence leaders?
Not really. It's actually the usual way he goes and says that he was really taken aback by not Julius Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's testimony regarding the PKTT and everything else, and even addressed that July 6th press briefing, which was delivered by Mkhwanazi, saying that it was very military-like, and he got a sense that we are very close to a coup. So it's obviously him giving his opinions and sort of his experiences regarding, Mkhwanazi and the high intelligence officials. So those are the things that he said, but nothing has really jumped out. But what he did complain about really is also about the portfolio committee on police, saying that they normally fail in holding some of the South African Police Services members into account, holding them accountable for some of the things that are happening either in intelligence or just the South African Police Service. So I think we'll get more out of him when the commission proceeds, and also regarding that Section 27, which is obviously at the center of his testimony before the commission.
Well, let's see what else comes out of it. Let's pass off this morning, perhaps, as his nervous energy, and now that he's settled into the hot seat, perhaps will make a far better sense of the exchange between himself and the evidence leaders, and hopefully extract something that is of critical importance to the Madlanga Commission. I love the fact that Aldrin is, erring on the side of caution where this is concerned.
You have to. Just now, the Madlanga Commission calls you to come and testify as well. I heard Kevin Brandt's name being thrown around there. Kevin Brandt, who's with ENCA. So you see, better be careful what you say out there.
Absolutely. Spahle Mota, we'll leave it there for this afternoon. Appreciate the time with you. That was our SABC news reporter who was stationed out at the Madlanga Commission. A quick pause, and then we come back on the other side. We catch up with Usibusiso Mkwanazi, who's a travel and lifestyle writer, as we look at traveling in South Africa. What are your top 5 shortlist destinations in South Africa? Places you've been or places that are still on your wish list? He's here. Who knows? He might be able to sway an arm or two and make some wishes come true.
Madlanga is listening.
Let's take a quick pause.
For 90 years, South Africa has changed. Governments have changed. Generations have changed. Technology has changed. But through it all, one thing has remained. The conversation. From the voices of yesterday.
It's 5 o'clock on Wednesday, the 1st of March, and this is SAfm 104 to 107.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Raphael. A very, very happy 100th birthday to you. This is Radio Station. You tell us about yourself a little bit. When you came to South Africa and what you did.
Well, I arrived in South Africa in the early days.
And the time just coming up to 7 minutes to 6 South African time, which is 3 hours 53 Greenwich Mean Time.
To the voices shaping tomorrow. This August, SAfm celebrates 90 years of conversation. A nation's story, our shared future. SAfm turns 90 from 1 August. SAfm, the conversation continues.
And welcome to BTH Idols.
My name is Dileka Mabuya from Port Elizabeth, Walma, and I'm going to be singing a song called Lord, I thank you for sunshine. Lord, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
This is Aldrin Sampear on Beyond the Headline.
Other news headlines. National Coloured Congress Member of Parliament Fadil Adams has accused Parliament's Police Portfolio Committee of failing to hold the SAPS to account. He is testifying before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry in Pretoria. Parliament's Impeachment Committee has resolved to obtain legal advice after it received a letter from President Cyril Ramaphosa in which he objects to the evidence leader the committee has recommended. And the United Nations has warned that aid workers are facing record levels of violence, with more than 900 killed or injured worldwide last year. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
Young people have always had the power to shape society. For my generation, it's not only about remembering the students of 1976, but also about recognizing that young voices matter and can drive change.
Angola faced a long civil war that lasted decades. A nation divided, people tested. But today, the story has changed. Peace rebuilt, cities rising, a future reclaimed.
This is what we are becoming. SAfm, leading the conversations that move us. The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
As we continue to celebrate 90 years of SAFM, 90 years of conversation, it's a nation's story, and of course our shared future. We're rewinding back into the voices and the faces of the folks that made us who we are. And of course, Aldrin Sampear is one of those coming through to co-host with me today, causing quite a stir on social media when he posted that he's returning to radio. Ngamkhuza-ke ngoba he wanted to burst people's bubbles.
No, you did. Yazi wangikhuza njengomuntu omdala no wangikhuza sho. Ngakhuzeka kodwa.
Wakhuzeka futhi yazi. And then he left them talking to themselves in their excitement. So he's here for one day only. I mean, I feel like you should get us into our next conversation because it's essentially where you've decided to wildflower into now.
And the thing about it is, I wasn't really such a big person on travel, and I don't know if it is because of the way my mom was always traveling. We were always moving houses, so like, can't let's just settle down? Why we're always moving around, new friends? Can we just settle down? And now that I've joined the department, of course, travel and tourism, there's a lot of traveling involved and a lot of new places that I'm discovering and places that I'm discovering through work. And I appreciate that so much. Of course, started here on SAFM many years ago when I was still hosting Beyond the Headline. I remember this one day. One of the listeners was saying that, we should have something as a group of listeners, And then another listener came in and said, let's do hiking. And then we organized everything and we did our hiking in Limpopo. Can't remember which mountain it was, but that's how I fell in love with tourism. Was because of that specific moment. And now I get to travel the country and tell the world about my beautiful country and tell them why they should come to my beautiful country.
Oh.
The first one first. I'm going to start with two that I haven't been at.
Okay.
Yeah. First one is Makhuba's Makhuba's Kloof in Limpopo is a place that you have to visit. Driving through, I've only driven through Makhuba's Kloof and always have this urge to just stop and just take in that scenic view. And for me, travel is about the scenic view than the experience. Some people travel for experience. I travel for more scenic views because that's really what captures me and what stays in my mind. So Limpopo, definitely Makhuba's Kloof. And then St. Francis Bay, the Eastern Cape. I can see myself owning a home there. I can see myself owning a home there. Or just maybe, I say Coffee Bay, even as well, like a rondavel. Imagine owning a rondavel on the edge of a beach.
Ooh.
And you watch inkomo grazing. Yeah?
Now that's a picture.
That is a picture. So guys, please go visit the Eastern Cape. Hint, hint.
Where
we are promoting also.
You understand? I can't with them. Whilst we're on that note, by the way, Sbu Sisumkwanazi, who's a travel and lifestyle writer. Sbu, how are you doing this afternoon?
I am great. Now I know how much Aldrin gets paid. He wants to get a second house. Where? They are paying him too much.
No. I was thinking about partnership. You know that I am in the government of national unity. Together we can do more. So I'm thinking partnership. So maybe Sbu, you and I can have a chat.
Sbu, let's not out Aldrin. Let's talk about it because, he mentions Limpopo and Eastern Cape, but South Africa and South Africans, I think we spoiled for choices, right? When it comes to amazing destinations. And you and I, from time to time, touch base on things that we can explore and exploit in the country. So let's get into it. Let's get into the top 5 short left destinations or wish list destinations. What has stuck out in your mind?
I hope that, by now I am known as the guy who goes left when everyone else goes right. I'm always looking for places that a lot of South Africans don't go to. And not only South Africans, but international visitors as well. So that's why I'll start off with my number 5. There's a place in the Northern Cape. It's called Bridgetown. And I know this because I did a drive from Joburg to Cape Town and back in an electric vehicle, and I needed to charge the car, right? And there's a place that I've always wanted to stay there. It's called Faith Stair. This is a former prison that has been turned into an Airbnb, and it is the coolest, one of the coolest and most unique places that you can stay at. Even the theme is around, one of the rooms that I stayed at was, it's called Life Imprisonment. You're in the inn number 1, Life. So it's really, really one of those places that I think if you love, if you love going off the beaten track, the Northern Cape is definitely one of them. And even the history and the heritage around the Northern Cape, it's not something that we speak a lot about. And I'm always saying, people always talk about Cape Town, Joburg, and Durban in South Africa, and these are the places that people keep going back to. And of course, I understand it works, but there is so much that South Africa can offer. If you're looking into the Khoisan rock arts that are in the area, oh my goodness, I love the place because, it really teaches you who you are as a South African. And Aldrin was saying, he loves views. For me, it is definitely about the experience of traveling. And you only get this when you go to places that other people tend to not go to, like the Northern Cape. So that's one of them for me, Bridgetown. And then I'll do another one in close. It's about 80 km from Cape Town in the Western Cape. It's called Kwatu, but it's spelled Kwattu, but it's pronounced Kwatu. Right, and it is the world of the sun, and it's Southern Africa's first people, the most amazing place that you can go to. They have tea tasting tours. They have first people tours where they give you history about the very first people to have settled in Southern Africa. They have animal tracking. When you go to the Kruger, you don't get to do these things, but these guys will tell you how to track an animal over kilometers and kilometers. So that's why, for me, I think it's definitely one of those places that I love, and it's, again, only 80 km from Cape Town, and there's a Fynbos exhibition. They have Kalahari art, and I think one of the most amazing things that I did there was eating the meals that they prepared using local plants. They have sour fig, they have Fynbos, there's cancer bush, wild garlic. These are things that you just don't get, in Cape Town, but you can definitely get them from Kwatu. Absolutely love that.
It's so interesting because I've driven to Limpopo.
Yeah.
In fact, Limpopo Tourism invited me to come do a whole province-wide tour the one time, and I was exhausted by the end of the day because I didn't realize how big and vast
massive.
Limpopo is. So a week was just not enough, going from north to south, west to east. So I'm familiar with some of the spots that Aldrin talks about, and they really are breathtaking. I feel like every time I speak to Sbu, I'm always like, where
is this place?
Point this place on the South African map. Because you really unearth what Aldrin calls hidden gems out there. I've never heard of these two spots, and I think maybe once upon a time you've mentioned Bridgetown to me, but
yeah.
I've never been to Kwatu. I don't even think I've been to the Northern Cape. Okay, maybe Kimberley, Northern Cape, ne?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kimberley,
Everyone's
that
been
was
to
it.
Kimberley.
Oh,
Everyone's
the big
been
hole.
to Kimberley.
The big hole, we know that story.
That was it. So I'm definitely keen to know what else is on your mind. But before we get there, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back on the other side and continue our conversations. Because while Sbu's here, I also want to find out, and we'd love to get your perspective of this as well, just the importance of promoting domestic travel, and
Yep.
maybe how do we do that in the here and now, in the era of influencers, in the era of global superstars. How do you and I, in our little corners, as we travel and journey, begin to also be ambassadors and advocates for domestic travel? That's coming up on the other side. 0614104107 is our WhatsApp line. A quick pause, and then we'll be right back.
You all know that image, Hector Peterson being carried
these
in,
co-hosting
that
situations
other man's
are-
arms. And I'd like to say that I'm personally very grateful, to see such bravery, such courage in the face of danger.
From Algiers to the desert sands, culture lives. Rai music, Amazigh heritage, tradition and identity, standing tall. Algeria does not bend, it stands.
In every grain of sand, in every voice, there is resilience. Algeria, the giant of the Sahara.
This is what we are becoming. SAfm, leading the conversations that move us.
1 2 1 2.
Outsurance is in the business of saving you money on your car insurance premium. If they can't, ask for 500 Rand. SMS out to 30754. That's out to 30754.
Deciding to skip the gym may cost you that smoothie reward, but deciding to stay with your current car insurance could be costing you thousands of rands in savings a year. So with Outsurance, 48-year-old Sylvia saves an incredible 802 Rand a month on her 2019 BMW X1. Switch to Outsurance today, and you too could be one quote away from having more money in your pocket every month. SMS out to 30754. That's out to 30754. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP, and T's and C's do apply.
Outsurance will go out of their way to try and save you money on your car insurance. If they can't, ask for 500 Rand. SMS out to 30754. That's out to 30754.
And welcome to BTH Idols.
My name is Dileka Mabuya from Port Elizabeth, Walma, and I'm going to be singing a song called Lord, I thank you for sunshine. Lord, I thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
This is Aldrin Sampear on Beyond the Headline. You are listening to The Full Circle.
It is 17 minutes now before 2 o'clock. You're still listening to The Full Circle with me, Aldrin Sampear, and Bridget Masinga. I still have it. Are you guys listening? Are you guys listening? It's Aldrin Sampear. You can give us a call on 086 000 2032. That's our studio line. Or drop us a voice note or a text on 0614 104 107. That's the way that I used to say it. 0614 104 107. Drop us a text or voice note. Please keep it short.
Yeah, it is indeed. Aldrin Sampear. He is back flexing his radio muscles once again. And we're in conversation with Usbusiso Mkwanazi, travel and lifestyle writer. And you know, Sbu, as we continue to explore the top 5 shortlist destinations and inviting also you, if you're listening, to let us know, maybe you and your family or you and your... There's a lot of guys also travel these days for like, you know, male getaways just to kick it with the boys. Maybe you've gone off the beaten path and you've accidentally or intentionally discovered a little hidden gem, a little corner of South Africa, a little town, a little dorpie that's lesser known. Don't keep it to yourself. Share.
Yeah. You know, so earlier on when I tweeted and asked people about their top 5 destinations, Dr. Ongama tweeted as well, and he responded saying that my family's and mine, which is the family and his, Knysna and Cape Town. And then he goes on to say, if it was all up to me, it will soon be Hamburg, Eastern Cape, and Kocha in Willowvale. And I'm like, okay, so it does happen that there's a family place that we can say that as a family, this is a type of place that we like to go to. But as an individual, I have my own top 5.
Oh, yeah.
So there could be a family top 5, but there could be an individual top 5 as well.
That could make sense. I think that would make sense, Boo, right? Because you have teenage boys. I have a 14-month-old, but I know that even just running around Joburg, I'm starting to look at places a little bit differently.
Yes.
Like which places entertain her, which places have that vibe where she can relax, and you know, people are non-judgmental of babies being babies. But then
and moms feeding babies.
And then
Or
which
dads.
places would work for me? Smooth?
It's true, and I'll take it one step further, right? It's So for me, there's my top 5, as in these are things that only I do, because I know Paul will never go to these places. You know, my wife is like, no, if it's
Like
not
a
5-star, I'm
boat
not
that
coming.
someone told me
And then
about.
like Aldrin, yes, exactly. And then like you're saying, Aldrin, right? Then there's the family one.
Yeah.
But now there's also a couple one, right? There are places that are fantastic and they romantic for 2 people. You know, so I fully agree with you guys. You've got to have these different, whether it's a top 5 or top 3, but we've got to make sure that tourism and travel really speaks to the person. Like you're saying, Bridget, you know, your daughter's 14, right? So
14 months,
you can't
14
take
months,
them where I
14
take
months.
14 months. Yes, listen to me, 14 months. And my twins are 18 years old. I don't know how many months that is. We'll do quick math. But 18 years. We can't be doing the same thing. But travel, that's the wonderful thing about it. It caters for all of us. If you want to be like Mpo and be very fancy, it's great. For me, I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I go to the craziest places when I'm alone. You know, and I love it. I'll tell you about a place in Mdantsane, of all places in the Eastern Cape. We know Mdantsane. It's one of the biggest townships in the country. This now brings me to township tourism. You know, we are all, a lot of us are from townships, and we don't think there's such a thing as township tourism because we are from there, and we take it for granted. And I went with a gentleman. He owns a company called Ungutu Tours, and we went kayaking, guys, in a township in Mdantsane at the Bridal Drift Dam.
Yeah.
You know, it was the most magnificent trip. There was hiking involved. I love my bicycles, and we also got to do some mountain bike tours.
You know
but
what?
you don't think of tourism in townships, you know?
You know the point that you make now about the river? I remember growing up in Lokshin, and I would think of the river almost as an impediment. Like, it is a nuisance.
Yeah.
We should get rid of this thing. But now, all of a sudden, I see like, okay, wait, actually, this could be a recreational spot. And back in the days, remember when it's hot and like, so swimming fully. And abazali bayakwata. Inyoka yasemfuleni izonibulala. And maybe those are the things that make us fear the water.
It's so true.
But I think the perspective is shifting. But what's required as well is that the people and the businesses in the industry of tourism need to also now shift how they sell tourism offerings to us who come from Elokshin. To say that, sure, mawuza elokishini kunomsebenzi, kunomncwabo, there's a wedding as an example. But after the wedding, after the funeral, after umsebenzi, what else is there for you? What else is there What else is there for you to do? Khona lapha eLokshin?
Beyond just going to the Shisanyama
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's an interesting perspective.
Exactly.
And I think it speaks to what we're going to talk about a little bit later, Guti. How do we position and rethink marketing and PR in South African tourism, or if we're looking at domestic tourism broadly in the SADC region or continentally, how do we begin to engage that differently? 0614104107. Let's just take a quick break and then we come back on the other side and continue our conversations. Our WhatsApp is open for you as well, by the way. Don't just listen to us thinking and dreaming of our wish list, because Aldrin Sampear and Arangeni Afunguyitolaga Madlanga Commission answering for why he helped us get discounts. So feel free to share your wish list, your dream destinations or places you've been to, but also I'd be interested in your sort of feedback around places that you've been to that have potential, but as a traveler, you notice maybe there was a gap here and there within how the hospitality is presented, or rather the accommodation, or whether you thought it needed more activity than what it offered. And these are the kind of notes also that when they're sitting caucusing there with Auntie Patricia, Aldrin, these are the kinds of things that they take into account. How do we make it better? Because this is the feedback that we've gotten around certain places. 061-410-4107. A quick pause. We'll come right back.
SAfm.
Young people have always had the power to shape society. For my generation, it's not only about remembering the students of 1976, but also about recognizing that young voices matter and can drive change.
Angola faced a long civil war that lasted decades. A nation divided, people tested. But today, the story has changed. Peace rebuilt, cities rising, a future reclaimed.
This is what we are becoming. SAfm, leading the conversations that move us. SAfm.
Why do we have a police protection? When I took the initiative, therefore, to say, what about communicating with the then Minister of Bantu Education to say, can you explain, what are you trying to achieve? But he decides to send the police to come and arrest me.
South Africa carries the weight of history and the power of possibility. In every township, village, city, in every skyline, in every anthem, there is resilience. South Africa, diverse, powerful, enduring.
This is what we are becoming. SAfm, leading the conversations that move us.
Looking for exclusive content, live events, and special broadcasts like the Madlanga Commission? Then connect to the all-new SAfm Connect stream. The Madlanga Commission, live and uninterrupted from 9:30 Monday to Friday. SAfm Connect brings you more of the conversations that matter. Listen anytime, anywhere by visiting connect.safm.co.za or stream directly on SABC Plus at sabc-plus.com. SAfm Connect. More conversations, more access. There's much more coming. Conversations that you connect with and react to. SAfm.
Good afternoon, Bridget and the brilliant team behind the scenes. I'm Donald in Rustenburg. Thanks for bringing out Aldrin Sampear. That name and surname, used to confuse all of us on SAfm. Thank you very much. Thanks for the voices which shaped SAfm to be where it is today. Thank you very much. Happy birthday. Happy 19th birthday. I'm Donald in Rustenburg.
Adrian, I am so excited. My name is. Welcome back. So good to hear from you. This is Nandi from Ekoinde. Thank you very much to SAfm for bringing you back.
Good afternoon, SAfm. Oh my God. Good to hear again the voice of Aldrin Sampear. Oh, we've been missing this voice on this radio. Thank you for bringing him up. I still remember him. I got memories of him when we went to the carnival restaurant and we were eating the crocodile meat together.
And once again, that came from the
still remember that day. I can't forget it.
Adrian, I am so excited.
I mean, the folks really are excited. They couldn't even be bothered with our tourism
folks.
conversation.
We're just happy to have this voice.
Right? But it's a testament also, I think, to the kind of energy that you brought on SAfm and onto your show. I always say you are a rarity as a broadcaster, and I know we still have you. We're just sidetracking for 2 seconds. I always say you are a rarity as a broadcaster because you are able to beautifully and with authority bring your journalism skill and knowledge into any space. You've got institutional knowledge, you have a curious mind, but you also have a very playful, very boy next door persona, and so you're able to go into X and Twitter and play with us in the gutter, which I know you love that shibeen.
I love Twitter.
Love that shibeen. He really loves that shibeen. And so I think it's a beautiful thing to marry when it comes, especially when it comes to driving, either particularly so afternoon drive. You need to sort of straddle the two worlds.
Yeah, it's the versatility I think that is required, and I'm happy at least that I have the ability, as you say, to be crazy, be mad, and then be serious and do the hardcore investigative stuff and ask the hard difficult questions. because we still do go out and prepare. And even though we go out and prepare for the show, we are still humans at the end of the day. And as a holistic human being, you're not always dealing with difficult things. And that is the thing that I wanted to bring onto the show, to say that, yes, it's the afternoon drive, current affairs, very, very heavy. But if the listener, if you think about the listener, as an example, the listener is at work from 8 up until 4 or 5. When the listener is on their way home, what should the show sound like? You know, if it is too heavy, would they be able to engage? And considering that most of them are traveling with their children at the time, what is it that we have in store for children? And that's the reason why I used to love when children send through voice notes as well, and sometimes bumping into their parents and like, oh, my son loves you, can I take a picture? It's not for me, it's for my son. I used to love those things, yeah.
Oh, man. Aldrin Sampear is back with us this afternoon. A little bit of nostalgia for the next couple of hours. We just got a message. Good day, Aldrin. One of my favorite journalists. I wish you could come and tour Mpumalanga. I also love gallivanting with a smiley emoji. We go visit places like God's Window. Is it Drie Rondevals?
The 3 rondevals,
Oh, okay. So in Afrikaans, drie rondevals.
3
okay.
rondevals, yeah.
The potholes, there's a place called the Potholes?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's almost like the water is bubbling, but it's not. It's because of the shape of the rocks.
Oh.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then panorama, guys. Panorama. Oh, there's a panorama scene in Mpumalanga as well. What an iconic scene.
Wow.
For me, once again, Sbu, for me, it's about scenery. It must be scenic. Those are the things that shine in. Yeah.
Sbu, we have about 2 minutes left before we have to get into the news. But I mean, I love Mpumalanga. I drive there, once or twice a year because my mom's from Nelspruit. And like Aldrin says, those mountains, it's just the vistas there are absolutely incredible. Sbu? They've muted Sbu, or Sbu has muted us, but okay. I mean,
Sbu, I'm just here for one day.
You're just here for one day.
After Sbu.
One of the most interesting drives I took, I drove to the Eastern Cape. I don't know why I did that. It was probably like one of the longest drives also that I've ever taken. It's interesting when you're used to driving particular coastlines of the country because you almost know the scenery that you're going to expect, like when you're driving to Durban, driving to Mpumalanga. When I drove to the Eastern Cape, I had to rejig my mind because a lot of the scenery almost looks repetitive because of the environment and the landscapes there. And I was like, oh, you need to think about it differently, though. Going back to some things are not so good when you experience them. Because I was like, I'm bored. But then I was like, no. It's because you're used to seeing a particular landscape.
Yes. Yes. But did you stop at some point to just take it all in, take a picture?
I was too tired.
Really?
Yeah, I was too tired to stop. There were some interesting little dorpies.
Yes.
And also I think because I was driving from the Gauteng side,
Yeah.
when I drove to the Eastern Cape from the Durban side, it was an interesting perspective. From the Gauteng side, I was just like, this is a very long drive.
That's the problem. You're seeing the long drive instead of enjoying the scenery. You must pause, guys, and don't drive for hours and hours on end. Remember, even Arrive Alive, they tell us that, take a break. And once you take a break, just take in what you're surrounding. And for me, like mountains, guys, I am obsessed with mountains. There's a place in the Western Cape called the Berrydale, which is also a small dorpie. Actually, I think the Daily Maverick readers voted it the best small town in South Africa in July. And Berrydale is a very, very tiny community, but it is enveloped by this amazing mountains. And when you drive through those mountains and just... it's majestic. I don't know how to explain. I took so many videos, but the videos themselves,
don't do it justice.
No, not at all. Not at all. So Berrydale for me is definitely one of those towns. But do pause and take pictures and tweet. #WeDoTourism.
All right. On that note, it is 2 o'clock on the dot, and Musa is standing by with the news. We got Sbu back on the line, but by then it was already 40 seconds to the news. So let's take Ann Musa. We'll come back on the other side with another one of Aldrin's tracks, and then we'll continue our conversation. 0614104107.
Thank you, Bridget. On the top stories, Fadil Adams accuses Police Committee of Unaccountability and Impeachment Committee to obtain legal advice on Ramaphosa letter. For SAfm News, I am Ondela Mbana, and a very good day. National Coloured Congress Member of Parliament Fadil Adams has accused Parliament's Police Portfolio Committee of failing to hold the SAPS to account. He is testifying before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry in Pretoria. Adams is expected to answer questions about his Section 27 affidavit, which subsequently led to the arrest of 7 crime intelligence officials, including head Dumisani Khumalo. Adams says when SAPS officials appear before the Portfolio Committee, they avoid questions or rely on standard responses.
On a previous occasion, I asked the National Commissioner how many members of his family worked in his office and whether those persons had gone through the proper appointed process. On the 18th of September 2024, I asked the National Commissioner General Fani Masimola to explain why Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo had been permitted to purchase a redundant cell phone grabber.
Parliament's Impeachment Committee has resolved to obtain legal advice after it received a letter from President Cyril Ramaphosa in which he objects to the evidence leader the committee has recommended. Following its last meeting, the committee notified the National Assembly Speaker, Toko Didiza, that it had recommended the appointment of Advocate Thandazani Madonsela as evidence leader. However, Ramaphosa has cited 2 instances of conflict of interest. Some MPs have raised objections to Ramaphosa's letter, but committee chairperson Makashule Ghana has made this ruling.
So what I'm appealing to the committee, we give legal the space to consider the options, and if they come and say no, we believe that the committee is still within, it's correct, we can then proceed with the appointment. But if they come with another option, then we have to consider it. But we will be failing if we do not fully apply our mind to this. We have to take a step back from the politics of the matter.
Former NPA Deputy Director Jacobus Pretorius has sought to correct what he says are material inoccurrences in the testimony of anti-apartheid activist Reverend Frank Chigane. Pretorius was testifying at the TRC cases inquiry in Newtown, Johannesburg today. He challenged Chigane's previous testimony that the NPA did not follow up on information related to Project Coast, the apartheid government's chemical and biological warfare program. Additionally, he questioned the allegation that its head, Votaru Basson, was not prosecuted. Chikande was poisoned in 1989 with his would-be killers receiving minimal sentences in a plea and sentencing agreement brokered with the NPA. Pretorius elaborated.
Reverend Chikane himself was listed as a witness in the Basson prosecuting, appearing as a witness number 147 on the lys van getuies, forming part of the indictment annexed to year 2. His own poisoning was directly an issue in those proceedings. His evidence before the commission that nothing was done and that his case is the only known case for the poison list is therefore difficult to reconcile with his own participation as a witness in a prosecution that addressed multiple cases arising from the same list.
Pretorius served as a member of the NPA's Priority Crimes Litigation Unit and served as its member since its inception in 2003 till his retirement in 2022. Road safety experts say road users have a major role to play in preventing road fatalities. They say simple measures such as wearing seat belts can help reduce serious injuries and deaths in bus and taxi crashes. This came out during a media roundtable discussion in Houghton, Johannesburg. Founder of the Road Ethics Project, Dr. Lee Randall, says South Africans need to take the so-called Fatal Five more seriously.
So we need to really sharpen up. The Fatal Five that we often talk about are speed, impaired driving through drinking, through drugs, or through distraction, for instance, using a cell phone while driving, seatbelt non-use, child restraint non-use, and motorcycle helmet non-use. Now, those fatal 5 kill more people globally than almost any other kind of behavior. So if South Africans would just wake up to those fatal 5 and that we have control over them.
The authorities in KwaZulu-Natal have advised motorists travelling on the N2 northbound to expect long delays. This follows a multiple vehicle pileup between the Isibaya and Umdloti off-ramps north of Durban. 3 trucks were involved in the collision, which has affected the slow and middle lanes of the northbound carriageway.
There's a report of a multiple heavy motor vehicle accident on N2 northbound between Isibaya and Umdloti off-ramp. 3 heavy motor vehicles are involved. The lanes that are affected are the slow lane and the middle lane. The motorists are advised to approach that area with extra caution.
The United Nations has warned that aid workers are facing record levels of violence, with more than 900 killed or injured worldwide last year. The world body commemorated World Humanitarian Day yesterday. A statement from the UN's Office of the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs says Gaza has remained the deadliest place for humanitarian workers for a 3rd consecutive year. 186 were killed, followed by Sudan with 71. Recapping the top story, National Coloured Congress Member of Parliament Fadel Adams has accused Parliament's Police Portfolio Committee of failing to hold the SAPS to account. I am Onde Lambana for SAFM News Headlines at 2:30.
Running a small business means every rand counts. Thanks to My Way Business Insurance, I save up to 20% on my insurance premiums every month for my bakkies and tools of trade. Now, I get to save some extra cash for my business and focus on giving my clients world-class service.
Switch to My Way Business Insurance and save up to 20% on your bakkies and tools of trade. Real businesses, real savings. Call us on 0860 646464 for a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. Standard rates and T's and C's apply.
Durban is ready. Southern Africa is coming together. This August, South Africa proudly hosts the 46th SADC Summit in Durban, bringing together leaders united by a shared vision of regional cooperation, industrialization, economic integration, and sustainable development. When we work as one, trade flourishes, investment grows, jobs are created, and families enjoy opportunities. The 46th SADC Summit, one region, one people, one vision, shared prosperity.
A nation changes, but the conversation continues. SAFM 90 years.
Hello, my name is Dr. Matsidiso Sello, a senior researcher at the Center for Social Development in Africa at the University of Johannesburg. Congratulations to SAFM on celebrating an incredible 90 years of service to South Africa. For 9 decades, SAFM has been more than a radio station. It has been a trusted platform for informing, educating, and connecting people across our country.
From the voices that shaped our past to the conversations defining our future, SAFM celebrates 90 years.
The Full Circle with Bridget Masinga, Monday to Friday, 1 to 3 p.m.
انتو خارج تخرج السنس تخو بلخن بيبو سيدي منتول ورجيت نتلمين في الخون جالي ولتين تتكسل عن سنكو فوقانا للينكسو خواشا خوافي سابو سيرو نفاسي تحاسي لخلات سوتسو ما نتزبالا لجيسي بابو لاي بي ميتا كاربا سيري بالي باكاي ناي للا بينا متولا خالي خاسي متلاي o ka tswa o le monyebo mo telele jaaka jara batho tlhala boitumelo jaaka tlhapola tlhala malatsi mabedi amogela madi seatla molomo kgwedi le kgwedi diura metsotso disekondo e sekgale ke tlo e bala ka dipondo wena mme ka fa borileng kapa fa ba dile jara wena mosimeng senyeletse selemo tshirikisa sematlatsi jo Bona guy, cause bona mo motsamo wa gago tatabela hela tlhoka ina gana ga semelela sela kae le kae boroko ke ba tlhogo potso ke re a ke tsoga ke hema tso ke mo mileng go koloi go spedipate ompona bo fere make it semerele tshwana no food no job please when I worry you know good you flop go to hell no wabon malatsi a matetse de tso kutlo botlhoko le mano a ganana le baka le golo ke medang wa ga le rato le ke la mogela le tshepo e ke bona ke re le betsi modimo rotlhe a ke re fifi le go aparela ka bonako la selemo sa madisa se te bosigo o siela ka go nna go tle le tletse bosigo Mahato go thata mangana phage tswa tswe sa phato sele tsa fa sele bakwa ke sala e mo sala o botsa na di manonnaja ka le ma go renja ngasawa khala uta di tlamelwana di ka maru di a ata di pula dula we make the kharatlela gore fire kolomela kuiti di bokorobela ke bo so sela matsatsi fa phirima bosigo ba lotsara ba go tsimona boso sela jara musipa tsela o libile ka fa se wena ke botsa se tsela o dimela jang la le go sa le metsi we said we want to all the things 25,000 ya le for the day that you say yeah o ko lo i hospital 600 how do you measure no Kutaka mangana phage midnight sa se ba wa sa na pictures in my
Oh, going to the store.
Aldrin Sampear, muhashi wa ntokoto na vutshila wena masusa xivundza mayi rito eka lava ri pfumalaka rito leri hangalakeke na misava hinkwayo ri haxa mbewu ya vutlhari xana imani a nga ku miyetaka ke imani a nga miyetaka mpfumawulo wa rito ra ku ke 326 yi tshama yi ri ye tindleve eka SAfm hikuva u yi phamela swakudya swa miehleketo hi dya yi tlhela hi xipa ndzi ri halala Aldrin Sampear halala wena la tselekiweke eswitikweni swa vutlhari a katingiwa etimbiteni ta vutivi a sweki
Aldrin Sampear on Beyond the Headline.
Good afternoon, House Bridget. Good afternoon. I would Aldrin Sampear from broadcasting under a mango tree. Hospital beds. Yo, welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to hear your voice. It's Fred, the truck driver, trainer now, no longer a truck driver. I would Aldrin. I've upgraded myself. Good day, House Bridget. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Fred, the trucker. Now a truck driver trainer. Good day, everybody.
Right.
Good afternoon, Bridget and Aldrin. Hey, ngingena ngiyafuthumala kade ngile emall. Sengibona on Facebook ukuthi hayibo Aldrin will be in today, so I'm rushing. I ngazi topic. All I can say is sawubona Aldrin. It's been a while. Siyakukhumbula marvelous eThekwini eClipperton.
Hey, greetings SAfm team. This is Pulen Puli from Bloemfontein. Hi Aldrin, I hope you are doing good. Hello. Nice to hear your voice on radio again. I hear they are playing all sorts of these jingles from Aldrin's show, but I think they forgot something. Something like the cameras switched off at the prison at 4:10. And the other one is 4:10 in Luyawa. I remember how I engaged my colleagues on that point and asked them actually what was the first 4:10 referring to, and no one could actually remember. And I was like, that is now regarding the Thabo Bester prison escape, where the cameras switched off at 4:10, and it's related to the 4:10 at Ntlantla Lux's house where there was in Luyawa. Yeah, I must say that I've really loved that part as well. It has really played its part for the longest time on your show, Aldrin. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bloemfontein.
Good afternoon, Bridget and Aldrin. Hey, ngingena ngiyafuthumala kade.
Oh, that was marvelous again. Oh, what a wow. Isn't it lovely to go down memory lane?
2, 1.
4:10. Nine.
4:10. Bam, bam.
This is Aldrin Sampear on Beyond the Headline. You are listening to The Full Circle.
You know, it's so interesting as folks go down memory lane with Aldrin Sampear, and we're going to be in conversation with Dukes Singanga in a moment. But it's so interesting, Uti, as people go down memory lane with you, and you say you had to be there. Someone was tweeting or shared a post from some TikTok account the other day. This gentleman, I'm trying to find it, I'll probably find it during Kids Corner when he was going, we are the generation that witnessed about 4:10 in India.
We were there. We were there when they were pointing out the bomb exploded here, and you're like, how? How? And when there was the Thabo Bester inquiry as well, and you know the interesting thing about the Thabo Bester inquiry was that we broke the story of Thabo Bester has died in a prison cell because somebody had tipped us off from inside the prison. One of the prisoners tipped us off that, hey, listen, there's been a fire at Thabo Bester's cell. It seems like he's dead. So they all thought it's Thabo Bester. We then quickly called correctional services to try and confirm. And they're like, yeah, we can confirm that Thabo Bester was in the cell and he has passed on. And back then, of course, he was referred to as the Facebook rapist. Only for Thabo Bester to turn up where? Woolworths. And when you listen to the Madlanga Commission,
Woolworths,
which written, there's something about Woolworths. I think if I was still on radio, we would have done something about Woolworths. Probably something in the water.
Once again, you had to be in the water.
You had to be in the water.
Let's take a quick pause. We'll come back on the other side with Aldrin Sampear.
Drivers, that smoke ahead is not just smoke. It's a wall, thick, blinding, and deadly. Never drive into felt fire smoke crossing the highway. You won't see stopped vehicles until it's too late. Pull over, turn on your hazards, wait it out. One decision can save lives, including yours. See and be seen this winter. brought to you by the National Department of Transport.
SAfm.
Young people have always had the power to shape society. For my generation, it's not only about remembering the students of 1976, but also about recognizing that young voices matter and can drive change.
Angola faced a long civil war that lasted decades. A nation divided, people tested. But today, the story has changed. Peace rebuilt, cities rising, a future reclaimed.
This is what we are becoming. SAfm, leading the conversations that move us.
Before there was the SAfm you know today, there was the English service. There was Radio South Africa, Radio South Africa, and there was a country going through extraordinary change.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Raphael.
From the darkness of apartheid
I have to inform honourable members.
through the states of emergency,
Earlier, it was reported an explosion had occurred at an ESCOM.
through the release of Nelson Mandela,
Comrades and fellow South Africans, I greet you all.
through the birth of a democratic South Africa.
As we know, elections do not create change, they create only the opportunity for change.
The conversations continued, and in 1995, a new SAfM emerged. A new country, a new voice, a new chapter. This August, SAfM looks back at the journey that brought us here. The voices, the moments, the people, the history. 90 years of conversation, a nation story, our shared future. SAfM turns 90 from 1 August. SAfM, the conversation continues.
Mauritius gained independence in 1968, a small island that transformed itself through vision and stability. Finance, tourism, technology, and manufacturing power the economy, often recognized for strong governance and economic growth. Yet challenges remain: rising living costs, climate risk, and economic inequality. Still, Mauritius continues to evolve with confidence and innovation.
Business sector, there isn't any growth and there isn't any injection from the government to say, hey, let's rather expand the sector so that we can handle the capacity of graduates being produced yearly,
This is what we are becoming. SAfM, leading the conversations that move us.
You are listening to The Full Circle.
Did you know that you can buy SABC programs to enjoy at home and at your own time? From your golden oldies like Ashifa Shaba to Inyaga Nyaga, Orkney Snorkney, to box sets of Isidingo the Need and other soapies for binge watching. Is it the legendary old games or programs from our radio stations that you're looking for? Well, we've got you covered. For more information or to place an order, please send an email to the SABC program sales on content@sabc.co.za, or you can call 011-714-6650 or 011-714-7342.
A nation changes, but the conversation continues. SAfM 90 years.
All right, let's quickly catch up with Dukes Singanga. I feel like we played your track such a long time ago as we got into the second hour of the show. And of course, Dukes is no stranger to South African audiences. Once upon a time, being at the helm of that Motswako movement with fellow hip-hop artists, and now bringing us a fine arts exhibition to the Northwest. How are you doing this afternoon, Dukes?
Hey man, head above water, Bridget. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's been a while.
It has. It has indeed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
But here we are.
Let's talk about the fine art exhibition that you're bringing to the Northwest. Give me some context.
Look, man, I've been tasked to bring this exciting exhibition to the Northwest, Mabanataung, So the task comes from sports, arts and culture through its agency of Mzansi Golden Economy. I'm heading up a team of 10 artists that will be exhibiting on the 25th next week until the 29th. So our opening day will be on the 25th, and of course we have something special going on the Friday of the 28th. Yeah, that's the exhibition, the Petojo title, the Petojo Art Exhibition, themed around the women that have made a change in our lives. My particular theme stems from and influenced by the primary school that I attended back in the day. It's called the Petojo Primary School. It informs the context of the whole exhibition. As a curator, I'm taking people through some of the moments that I had at school, some of the influences that have molded me, and through the teachers, of course, which were predominantly the women that taught me at that particular school.
I mean, it's interesting you find yourself now in the fine art space, of course, as a curator for this particular exhibition, Dipetojo, a fine art exhibition that is taking place. Perhaps also give us some background around, is it Mabana, Taung, and why that particular town to host the exhibition?
Yeah, I mean, in our province, there are a few spaces where we can host such events, and Mabana, Taung itself is a very cultural space. There's so much heritage here. I mean, the co-curator of this exhibition comes from Taung. She's a native. She's a Taung native who has a lot of stories and a whole lot of cultural background behind her artistry. That's why I chose Taung. Taung is in the outskirts. This is where people hardly find opportunities to experience exhibitions at this level that I'm trying to bring it at. Mm-hmm. And it's the Petojo, my sister. It's change. I think there needs to be change from the metropolis areas and bring things to the people, just involve our other communities that have been long excluded from such events.
Mm-hmm. Dux, it's Aldrin here. I am co-hosting today with Bridget, so I am hijacking this interview as well, because Mamela, the arts experience is obviously part of what we would say is a tourism asset as well. On how do we make sure that we position arts in such a way that it's able to attract people to where the exhibition will be taking place. So just give me an idea of, if I want to come to this exhibition, what is it that I would be experiencing once I get to the exhibition, and perhaps maybe anything else of interest around Mabane Taung?
You will get the history of what the Petojo is. I can give you a bit of background to why I chose this thing before I get into the logistics of the day. The logistics of the day would include, of course, a small ceremony program leading into later on the reception. But other than that, I'm trying to tell a story of 13 women that got into a taxi one July morning, going to a funeral of their colleague, and they themselves got into an accident, you see. So I'm trying to have that displayed and take people through that particular experience, through the artworks, and I mean, my fine prints will indicate of such happenings of these ladies going through what they went through. 13 ladies that taught me. Some of them were my teachers. Okay, so this is what people can expect. Expect installations without giving too much away. Remember, this is, for me, this will be my first curatorial exercise. It's my first time leading an exhibition. I've been involved in other group exhibitions. I've taken notes coming from the background, their music, of course. I would tell you so much about a hip hop event, but exhibition-wise, this is my first exhibition that I'm leading. Okay, but we have great installations that people will have a chance to, just get themselves into that zone of okay, this is what this installation is talking about. I can tell you about a classroom for one, without going into other elements. I mean, the guest list is amazing. You have NEC that's coming through to check us out. You have other governmental parastatals that will be sending their representatives to the spot, you see. So we have activities, there's music there, there's theater playing there. There's just live sessions that, will add in those nice elements to the whole experience for that day.
Dux, we've got to leave it there for this afternoon as we get into the headline news. But of course, that festival is kicking off come Tuesday, the 25th to the 29th of August at Mabana, Taung, under the theme Dipetogo, a homage to women who brought about change in your life. So if you find yourself in that particular parts of the Northwest, or you can at some point get there, definitely go through, for one, to support Dux Singanga on this new venture, and of course, two, to also take in the arts and culture that's been presented from that particular region, telling their story through their unique perspective. I've been saying Ondela the whole day. We've been fluctuating between Ondela. Well, I've been saying Anne because we've been fluctuating between Anne and Ondela. But Ondela, I know it's now you. Ondela Bana is standing by with the news headlines.
It's definitely me, Bridget. Good afternoon. On the news headlines, National Coloured Congress Member of Parliament Fadil Adams says KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi was provocative and describes him as an apartheid-era police officer. The Executive Director of the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organised Crime, Dr. Mark Shaw, has warned that gangs are increasingly recruiting children as young as 7 and 8 years old. And Israel has opened up bids for the construction of more than 1,000 homes in a strategically important area of the occupied West Bank. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
Looking for exclusive content, live events, and special broadcasts like the Madlanga Commission? Then connect to the all-new SAfm Connect stream. The Madlanga Commission, live and uninterrupted from 9:30 Monday to Friday. SAfm Connect brings you more of the conversations that matter. Listen anytime, anywhere by visiting connect.safm.co.za or stream directly on SABC Plus at sabc-plus.com. SAfm Connect. More conversations, more access. There's much more coming. For 90 years, South Africa has changed. Governments have changed. Generations have changed. Technology has changed. But through it all, one thing has remained. The conversation. From the voices of yesterday.
The situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo is not improving.
Good morning and welcome to the Sunday edition of the JSB House. I'm Michelle Constant.
If a union treasurer is popular, then there must be something wrong with the finances. You are extremely popular this morning, Minister Manuel. Is there something wrong with our finances?
It's a very good evening, or rather afternoon to you, Mzansi. Welcome to Otherwise on SAfm, South Africa's news and information leader. My name is Charlotte Pallet.
So, you know how important social grants are, right? And it turns out that there's a big study that's been done. The University of Johannesburg's been looking at it.
To the voices shaping tomorrow. This August, SAfm celebrates 90 years of conversation. A nation's story, our shared future. SAfm turns 90 from 1 August. SAfm. The conversation continues. If you miss any of our programs, you can catch up anytime on the SABC Plus app or on the SABC Plus website, www.sabcplus.com. Brought to you by SABC Education. Enriching minds, enriching lives.
Hello, friends.
friends, and happy Wednesday. Welcome to another exciting episode of Kids Corner on SAfm. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're talking about something many families might find challenging but also lots of fun. Having a no-phone day and spending quality time together. If your family had a no-phone day, what would you do together? Would you enjoy spending a whole day without your phone? What games or activities would your family do together instead of using phones? Would you rather play games, cook together, go for a walk, or have a family conversation? Do you think families spend more time together when they put their phones away? Alright friends, let's hear from some of our friends while you share your answers with the people next to you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maya and my name is Michael. I am registered in the school of Brixton Primary School. Yes, my family has had a no-phone day. Me and my siblings, while we were not having our phones and going through the internet, that was banned. So we just took my mom's flour and started making a mess. We played games from TikTok. Yes, I did enjoy, but somehow I didn't enjoy. The reason why I didn't enjoy is that my cousins and my siblings were just not playing on free. And the reason I enjoyed, because the games were fun and so energetic. Me and my family, we played Mafia, we played Samoreka Omo, we played Guess the Singer by the Lyrica, sing a song with its name, and it is so fun to play with my family. Me and my family could do all. We could play board game, cook together, go for a walk, or have a family conversation. Because me and my family without my phones, we just get to unite. Yes, I do think quality time begins when you put your phone away. Because the distraction from the internet and all social media platforms gets away from your mind and you get to unite with your family. Bye, my lovelies. Thank you for your time, support, and your love. Bye.
If my family did a no-phone day, I think we'd probably have a picnic. And I would enjoy spending a day without my phone. I think it's like fun sometimes to not be connected to my device and like see things differently. I think my family could probably play some card games, Monopoly, something fun. I think I would rather have playing board games because it's so much fun and you see everybody's competitiveness and everybody just kind of connects. I think families do spend more time, quality time together when their phones are put away because they get to connect without a screen being in between them. And yeah, I think they definitely do connect better when their phones are put away. Thank you.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Nissa and my name is Pepe. I am in grade 6B. I'm 11 years old and I'm in Brixton Primary School. If my family had no phone day, we would spend time together talking and playing together. Yes, I would enjoy spending a whole day without my phone because we could spend more time together as a family and have lots and lots of fun. Some games or activities I could complete together with my family instead of using our phones is my grandmom was going to teach me and my little siblings how to cook and bake because she loves baking a lot. And then we could play tag and any other sports like netball. Since my uncle loves playing soccer, we could also learn girls soccer. If I had to choose which game I wanted to complete with my family, either playing board game, cooking together, or go for a walk, or having a family conversation, I would rather choose cooking together because I really enjoy cooking. Even though I haven't learned, when I watch some other chefs cook, I really want to feel how it feels, so it'll be the perfect timing for me and my little siblings to learn how to cook.
Good day, my name is Monet Angel Nangopera. If my family had a no-phone day, we would cook together and play board games like Ludo and Monopoly. Yes, I would enjoy spending a whole day without my phone because we would talk more, spend more time together, and laugh more, as well as create more memories. Instead of phones, we could play cards, go for a walk in the park, maybe also go to a franchise and get something to eat, or sit and have a family conversation. I'd rather have a family conversation because I get to hear everyone's stories. We get to catch up that way. I do think families spend more quality time together when they put their phones away because we pay attention to each other instead of screens. Thank you and have a lovely day.
My name is Ashley Kawamba. Yes, I do spend a lot of time with my family members. We always go out or stay home together, and sometimes we do make arrangements to go visit our family.
Greetings to you all. My name is Zelanda Mzabe. I am 12 years old. If my family had a no-phone day, what would we do together? We would watch horror movies. No, I would not enjoy spending a whole day without my phone. Why? Because I'm used to my phone and my phone keeps me busy all the time. What games or activity could my family do together instead of using phones? We could play cards, guess the animal game, and watch TV. Would I rather play a board game, cook together, go for a walk, or have a family conversation? I prefer having a family conversation. Why? Because it is fun when we are having a conversation, and I also feel comfortable speaking to my family about anything. Yes, I do think families spend more quality time together when they put their phones away because they will not have anything to do and they will focus on themselves, build, laugh together. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, friends. It's always great to hear from you. And to our friends listening, I hope you shared your answers with the people next to you. Today, we're talking about something many of us use every day, our phones. Phones can be useful for learning, communicating, playing games, and keeping in touch with people. But sometimes we can spend so much time looking at our screens that we forget to pay attention to the people right next to us. Imagine your family decided to have a no-phone day. At first, you might think, what am I going to do? But there's so many fun things you can do together without screens. You could play board games, cook or bake together, go for a walk, play outside, read a book, listen to music, or simply sit together and talk. Putting our phones away for a while gives us a chance to look at each other, talk, listen, laugh, and share experiences. We may even discover something new about our family members that we didn't know before. And it doesn't mean phones are bad. The important thing is balance. We need to know when it's time to use our phones and when it's time to put them away. If we're having a family meal or someone is talking to us, giving them full attention is a simple way of showing respect. As children, we can even suggest a special screen-free activity for our families. Maybe we can challenge everyone to a board game, help prepare dinner, have a family talent show, or go outside and play together. Remember, friends, quality time isn't about how expensive an activity is or where you go. It is about being present with the people you care about. So, friends, the next time you put your phone down, don't think about what you're missing out on the screen. Think about what you might discover right in front of you. A conversation, a laugh, a game, or a special moment with your family. Sometimes the best connection is one that happens when we disconnect from our screens. Sometimes the best connection is one that happens when we disconnect from our screens. That's it for today, friends. See you next time.
If you miss any of our programs, you can catch up anytime on the SABC Plus app or on the SABC Plus website, www.sabcplus.com. Brought to you by SABC Education, enriching minds, enriching lives.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide, leading the conversation.
Ulindlela,
All right. It's a little bit of Brenda Fassie. I'm not responsible for the music today. It's Aldrin Sampear taking us all over the place. And you said this one's for your mama.
Yes, this one is from my mama. So I was thinking about like which song do I put in, you know? There was Elton John, you know, I was like, no, but not Elton John, you know? Then it hit me, Brenda Fassie. Like every time I hear this particular song, it reminds me of my mum. Clearlang, colored. Couldn't pronounce the words properly, just like somebody I would not mention. She's struggling with the lyrics. But no, miss my mom. So yesterday was her birthday, and I was like, okay, let me dedicate this one to my mom. Happy belated birthday to my mom. There by the heavens, love that woman. And how best to describe a South African feeling through Brenda Fassie?
Absolutely.
Nobody does it like Brenda does it.
Absolutely.
To date.
No. And no one ever will. But what I love is Brenda birthed a Lebu Matosa. A Lebu Matosa has birthed a Tyler. And so the legacy continues.
Oh, you know when you are with a broadcaster, seasoned broadcaster there. And that beautifully segues us. That's the segue into our next conversation. That's the line that I was waiting for.
And that is our next conversation because you've just executed in partnership with other stakeholders a wonderful campaign with Tyler.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our last 10 minutes. So give us the backdrop of this because I think it speaks to innovative ways to engage tourism and to bring South Africans along.
Yeah, and by the way, also to the listeners, I would love to open this up to you as well. If you have any ideas around how do we market South Africa to South Africans, this is now South African holiday destinations. How do we market South African holiday destinations to people on the continent? How do we market South African destinations to the entire world? Please do call us on 086 000 2032. Or you can drop us a WhatsApp on 0614 104 107 or voice note on 0614 104 107. Because for me, tourism is everybody's business. It's not about the people who are in the sector. It's about also the people who are South Africans themselves, because that's for us what we've identified through our research is our biggest tourist asset is South Africans. When you speak to people who visit the country, the first thing that they tell you about is the experience of being with South Africans and how South Africans make you feel. And what we thought about is considering how social media is changing the space and how people engage in social media, even from an organic perspective. We looked at Tyler, Tyler wherever she goes with a colored accent, there, by Coachella. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. It's South Africa. And we love that about her. Like, she's so authentic, and wherever she goes, she promotes the country. Why don't we partner with Tyler to say to people, come and visit the country that Tyler always speaks about, this beautiful country, whether it is the beaches, the mountains, our safaris, our MICE sector as well, which is with the event space as well. Come and visit this country. And that's why we went into this partnership with her, South African Tourism, that is, with the Tyler, as well as APSA. And on the 16th of August, that's where she had the Gold Reef City takeover. The beautiful moment for me was watching her perform. She did it again. The song that she has with, was it?
Liquid Deep.
Zara. No,
Oh, Zara.
Zara's,
Oh.
yeah. The song that she has with Zara Larson. I'm like, okay. As she was performing that song, beautiful visuals of our beautiful country were playing in the background on the digital screen. Like, that is how we promote the country. So wherever people who have taken videos of that particular moment, wherever those videos end up, they are going to have the backdrop of South Africa, and that's how we're trying to get people to come to our country.
Oh, man. And I think you're right, because, right, the biggest asset of South Africa, of any nation, but in particular ours, it's our people. It's, the essence of what it is to be South African lays in every South African, right? And when you have the opportunity of these now mega South African stars, Tyler on the one hand, Trevor Noah on the other end, Black Coffee on the other, it's such a prime opportunity for you to tap in and really leverage off their journey and their fan base as well.
Yeah, because even the people who are not on TV or on TikTok and what, you know, now speaking about your ordinary South African who's an expat, those people are ambassadors of the country who share stories about our country, who entice people to come visit our country. And hopefully one day we'll have a campaign that says, Buyele Khaya. Marama Buyele Khaya is anabangan ba ko ba lapha nohlala khona.
Yeah.
So watch the space. Hopefully one day we have such a campaign, because South Africans, wherever they are, you travel a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, when you get to a place, you can see, hey, look, this must be South African.
We
Doesn't
find
matter.
each other.
Yeah, we have a way of finding each other and identifying that this is South African, and it's such a beautiful experience. And when people watch that, I'm sure in the back of their minds they're like, I wonder what their country must feel like. If when they meet each other in countries outside of their country, you have that moment that takes place. And by the way, we're very loud as well.
We are.
You'll know that it's South African here.
we are really, really loud. I mean, I remember being in New York when Trevor Noah first got The Daily Show. And they had those cabs, you know, with his face all over at the top of the cabs. Oh my goodness, did we not make a noise in the middle of the streets?
It's Trevor, our Trevor.
It's our Trevor, you know, like it's our Tyler now, because these are our folks. But you've also engaged in, speaking about that Buya Khaya and Bring Your Friends Along campaign, because I think we've had some really outstanding campaigns through the years, right? I'm even thinking about campaigns that didn't speak, which I think should have been leveraged on by the Department of Tourism, that weren't tourism campaigns, but spoke to that Santam campaign, South Africanisms. Remember that one?
No.
Where you don't remember that
No.
iconic Santam campaign? Where they literally spoke on South Africanisms. Like the lady was walking through the streets and Ebeletingane, and then there was a white lady walking, struggling with her toddler, so the black lady came Wambeleta. And then there was like another situation about how South Africans called traffic lights robots, and all these unique South Africanisms, right?
Yeah.
These are all the things I think sometimes when we open our mouths and just authentic speak traveling, people latch onto, and they're like, wait, what was that? And
because that forms part of culture, right?
Yeah.
And how people then experience the country. And by the way, you have the private sector, of course, that are doing their own stuff around how do we promote the country, how do we promote nation brand, but how do we also promote and elevate the culture of this country, which also then translates into investment at the end of the day. That yes, while we're saying to people, come and visit our country, what we're also trying to do is to say to them, look at the opportunities that there are in this country. Because remember that esikhathini esiningi, most people, well, I don't know what the numbers would look like currently, but there has been this narrative that Africa is all about the lions and the elephants and, you know, and when people come and visit the country, like, oh my word, there's such great infrastructure in this country, and we want to leverage on that and say, don't only come and visit the country, but perhaps maybe invest in the country as well. And that's what we are trying to do.
I feel like you're succeeding, though, because you were telling us offshoot that you know, the department has recorded the highest number of travelers coming into the country thus far in all of the years.
Since 10.5 million international visitors that we welcomed last year, so which is a record high. This year, something else that we're trying to push now, also to try and increase the number of visitors that we have from the continent, which currently remains the majority, but we have identified that considering that the continent is one of the fastest growing, when you look at one of the fastest growing continents from an economic perspective, we're trying to tap into that, because that then means that some people on the continent have more disposable income. And how do we then tap into that and say, come and visit our country? We have the Short Left campaign, which is a domestic campaign which runs every year. And then in September, we have the Travel Week campaign. In that Travel Week campaign, we give discounted rates to South Africans to encourage them to travel around the country, enjoy the country, because it is your country. What we're trying to do now is we are opening up that opportunity to countries in the SADC region. So people from the SADC region will now also be able to benefit from those discounts that are offered during the travel week. So you could be from Mozambique, you could be from the Seychelles, you could be from Namibia, and when travel weeks comes and you say, actually, I would like to book accommodation or an experience in South Africa during the travel week, you book your experience and you use it whenever you want to use it. You don't have to book it and say that I want to use it now. You can use it for whenever. And those are the mechanisms that we're trying to come up with as the department, as well as South African tourism, around how do we make sure that South Africa remains desirable as a holiday destination, but also investment.
Absolutely. Well, listen, they tell me all good things must come to an end. I know, right? We didn't even have time to go to our listeners. Already, it's literally 1:10 before the top of the hour news. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for honoring our invite. When you put out the poster yesterday, some of my private circle said, oh, but of course she would have invited her fave, Aldrin Sampear. Oh, but of course. So we appreciate you coming through. In our last minute, being back here, your first love.
My first love. It's an amazing feeling, because I remember as a young kid at Katlehong, driving to SAfm, listening to SAfm, and praying that one day I will make it onto SAfm. Abu Otsile, because I'm still like into the news reading thing, and I'm like, Otsile Tsako, like, oh, listen to that voice. I want to do that. And then, you know what? God said, listen, my son, your prayers have been answered. And I became a drive time show host. And when you guys went out there inviting former people who used to be behind the mics, I'm like, I've made it. I have made it. I was like, and I was thinking about it, like, if Xolani Kwala was still alive, I'm sure he would have been part of that list. And I would have been part of that list as well. If Vuyombuli was still alive, he would have been part of this list, and I would have been part of that list as well. So I've made it, Mama. Thank you so much to the listeners of SAfm, and once again, thank you so much, SAfm management, who gave me the opportunity back then to say, listen, we're going to take this risk on you. They took the risk, and I think that it paid off. Love the listeners, and love everyone who I keep on bumping into, and like, Adrian. That
is where we leave it with Aldrin Sampear. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Inshallah, God willing, we get to do it again.
Saints, love you, Bridget.
Thank you to Bridget and Aldrin on the top stories. A photo of a suspect wanted in DJ Wara's murder issue